I mean, you've heard that sounds, like the whining sound.
It's everything. It's just.
Did you know for Haartrippie krag. Luke and I are back.
We are back.
To get your day started. So good evening, good morning. It is good morning where we are now.
Good yesterday, good today, good everything.
Good afternoon. It is nice not seeing you all. Of course, we would have. I mean, one day
We'll think about doing a live audience.
Yeah, definitely. So? Live audience podcast.
Get some proper reactions. It sounds good to me.
It would be cool to get some people gathered, but I think that will be quite a logistical, or rather, when it comes to audio recording, like getting that right with all the people laughing. I don't know. We'll see. But it would be cool to get the audience involved, get the people involved.
Definitely.
But welcome. Luke and I are here. We are not with a guest today. We want to chat some real stuff. Yes, with the guest, we share our stories and we share the passion and we try and get their perspective on why cars, why they do what they do. But when Luke and I are together, it's more about what's currently happening in the car world, what are some interesting topics and things we can discuss and chat about, and just to enlighten you into the car world. Because I constantly heard over the last few weeks people giving feedback, commenting, saying that they really love this podcast because they don't know as much about cars, but it really gets them interested.
It's a nice platform to get people into the whole scene that we enjoy so much every now and again.
Yeah, it's much safer than drugs. It's proven.
And it's cheaper as well.
You
save money.
Well,
just listen to us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, okay.
The podcast, not necessarily buying cars.
Yeah, okay, no, it's not cheaper than doing drugs, but it's a lot healthier and safer.
Yes, it is a lot. It saves lives. It saves lives. It's community. That's why we're doing it. So, when Luke and I are together, we'll chat about some current stuff. We'll chat about some interesting topics. Some debatable topics, something we throughout the week, you're like, Luke, have you seen this? What do you think about this?
And we don't agree on everything. Let's just put that out there.
We precisely why we chat about it.
We almost never agree on anything. So
we agreed to do the podcast. And
we agreed to that's also a big
part
thing.
Of the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, see.
Update on Luke's life. He has applied for a job. He's still going to hear if he has gotten the job, but it's exciting times.
Trust me, you'll know when I get it. So
we may or may not have a glass of wine with us to
maybe for the next one.
Just enjoy. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it. But welcome to the podcast on the Overrun. This is episode number 6. We are so excited to share this one with you. I think shooting with a guest for the first time was such an awesome experience.
It's so weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's like the weirdest thing having a third person in it, but it was like so casual in a sense. It was very talkative and fun. So. We just started and we're ready for some more. Yeah, so
we've got some very interesting topics to chat about today. A cool debate coming a bit later. But as I have not mentioned today, I do not want to bang too much on about this. But our social medias, when we engage with you, are on YouTube also. Subscribe if you like it. Share if you want to share it, because that's what we do when you see a cool car. So share if you want to share it. Review, give us a comment. We'd like to know where we can improve. If you enjoy it, throw a thumbs up. That's always really encouraging. Just gets the motivation going. We're on the multiple social media pages that will be shown somewhere here or here or here.
Maybe over Martin's face. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. But go and follow us there. That will be very cool. Just to also weekly get you involved in what we do and engaging you also. But our first conversation today is much more current. And it's also very exciting, something that anybody would enjoy. And it's the current state of hypercars. So definition of a hypercar, I think it's when a brand makes, designs, builds, produces a car that exceeds the limits of what cars... Or
do you think a car, if you think like sports cars and stuff, or what they are capable of?
It exceeds that. New technologies. It's basically a brand saying this is the best what we can do at the moment. So we're going to showcase that. So the current, year of the Holy Trinity the whole time, Porsche 918 Spider, McLaren P1, Ferrari LaFerrari.
Those things,
So those are like the pinnacle of cars, you know, in terms of the technology,
top class, like the best
speed,
of the best,
the performance, and it just goes to show also how quickly cars developed and improved. I mean, now you get the likes of the 488 Pista, basically running alongside a LaFerrari on track. You get the likes of the 675 LT, even the 720S. Not 675, the 765 LT, the new one.
The new one. Okay.
Even the likes of the 720S running alongside the P1. The Senna being definitely faster than P1 on the track. You also get in terms of your Porsches, I mean, your GT2 RS.
And I think it's also important just to say it's more road and track cars, because you get track cars like the IDR, the Volkswagen IDR and stuff like that, which is ludicrous, but it's just for track. It's not like you can take the thing on the road.
Aston Martin Vulcan.
Those types of things. There was one road legal version, I think, that they made. The Vulcan.
They made. I actually saw the one. It was very cool. They put in new headlights. I think it was sort of DB11.
That kind of style that they took out and then used it
windscreen wipers. Shortened wing, unfortunately.
I don't know. I'd be too afraid. If I had the capability of buying a car like that, I'd be afraid to take it on the road.
I think the one thing that, if you look at road cars, like road cars meant for the track, and then full-on track cars that like you can't go on the road, I think one massive difference, or the characteristic that actually makes that thing a track car, aside from the fact that it's totally stripped out and bare naked, just in carbon usually, is the fact that that racing gearbox, that sequential, race spec gearbox, adds so much character to a car.
Your reverse gear.
You know, a reverse gear on your car, it makes that whining sound. So it's the same as a race spec gearbox. Like that's the same technology or mechanics they use in a race spec gearbox they use in your reverse gear. It's very efficient, very lightweight to design, but
so that's why you can hit like 40-50 kilometers an hour in an old car in reverse, but you can't get there in first gear.
Well,
something in
the thing is, the reason they don't use it for the forward going gears is because, well, basically it makes too much sound, and it's not as efficient or rather comfortable to drive in as normal gearboxes. Like, imagine you had a race spec gearbox in your Toronto or like your Polo, like it wouldn't be a comfortable drive. It'd be very like
jerky and
stiff,
jolts.
jerky, like that's the right word. But anyway, back to hypercars. Current state of hypercars at the moment, we heard that the AMG One, very exciting, is actually in testing at the moment. So it's in for high-speed testing. It's in for track testing.
It's got his camo on and it's driving around.
So about
we're getting there.
2 years prior, they released the AMG One. Or basically they had like a press release. So quite a few years back they released it, the idea of it. So they're actually going into production sort of now. And the testing is like final phase testing. So the AMG One, what they're trying to implement is race car, well, not just race car, Formula One car technology into a road going car. Literally, a lot of the cars are like, F1 inspired technology, F1 this, but this car literally takes the F1 engine that Lewis Hamilton, annihilated the rest of the field I think it was the 2017 or 16 engine, and they're basically trying to implement that and putting into a road
car that you can
The massive struggle with that is that a race car engine is not built for longevity. Like, it's built for speed. It's usually rebuilt.
Instant power, and every third or fourth race they rebuild.
It's very highly strung, very specialized, very difficult. It's not meant to go long. It's like Top Gear in their video, they basically said it's like teaching Usain Bolt to win the 10,000 meters. Like, it's a massive adaptation that has to happen. So they basically need to tone so Formula One car basically revs at idle at like 4,000, 5,000 revs. So now they actually have to get that revs down to 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, where it actually is livable. So
it's not when you start the car in the morning, your ears start bleeding or something in your garage from...
So. Yes, imagine. But this is not your V8, your V12s. This is a V6 actually. It's a 1.6 liter V6, 1.6 as you would get in a high-spec Nissan Micra.
Yeah.
But a bit more specialized.
just a little bit.
Yeah. You get 3 electrical motors, 1 on the crankshaft and 2 on the front wheels, turning it individually, basically trying to get it as specific as possible in terms of, if the car wants to send power here, it sends power there.
Where the power's going and all that.
So it's extremely exciting. Have you heard how it sounds?
I've seen a video and I heard it on track when it's camouflage driving around it. It's quite a unique.
It's an interesting sound.
It's a very unique sound, I must say.
It's not your screaming V12, but it's also not a rumbling V8.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I said something I remember a few years ago in high school when you first showed me it, and my immediate first reaction when I saw it from the front was 918.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the first thing.
Yeah. No, Luke. No, it's not.
That was the first thing, but as I saw it now, I would say in the flesh, it changes a bit. But that sound, I don't know. It's not what you expect because you think, but obviously, like you said now with the rest and stuff that they have to bring down and stuff, you won't hear that super high whine that you get from the standard F1 car. I mean, it's obviously a lot heavier than the F1 car would be.
But they say like in your very short tracks, short, not necessarily very short, the gap between the Formula 1 car and the AMG One is much closer than expected.
Wow, okay, so they really put some effort into...
And I think it has a lot, it weighs between, they said like 1,050, 1,100 kilograms, and then the power is like, over 1,000 horsepower. There's no official amounts in terms of power and torque, but basically it's close enough to 1-to-1 power to 8, which will be insane. Of course, that car is going to put the weight down. Is of course going to put its power down to the road because it's meant to do that. Also, they say that the aerodynamics, if they had any more downforce on that car in like the highest downforce specification,
that you can.
If they added any more downforce, then the tires wouldn't be able to handle it. So that is as far as those tires can handle it, and that's in a sense maybe the limiting factor.
Yeah, so it's so a situation that you have to sit with. So you have to think about what. I mean,
a lot of development, a lot of research. Yeah. As I said at the start, Formula 1 car engines are not meant to be in road cars. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. But that will cost around £3.2 million, and it's already sold out, like 150
Yeah,
models.
The units that they'll make is...
In rands, it's about, I'd say near 70 million rand. It's something unbelievable. I mean, but you won't see one in South Africa. I doubt
very, very highly. Doubt it. Yeah, we know there's a few people that maybe... like 2 or 3 people in South Africa that have the capability perhaps of buying one and then keeping it here as well. Yeah. So we know there's a guy as well, he's got his own private racetrack. So you'll think maybe that family will go into it, but...
There's quite a few Mercedes fanboys in South Africa. I mean, if you look at the 6x6 G-Wagons, that there's about 9 here in South Africa, which is quite a lot. So... there are people with money.
Yeah, that need it. But I don't know the
made the cut for that car. It's
a very elite little club, but also just the chance that you take from driving that thing on South African roads. I mean, for those of you that know South African roads taxis, you probably that's what I'm thinking. If you have your own track or something, then you'll probably do it, but. It wouldn't make. I don't think it would make sense. I
wish I could see one. It would be a dream.
No,
it'll be a dream. But another on that direct competitor, direct competitor for the AMG One is the
Aston Martin Valkyrie. An absolutely insane 6.5 liter V12 monster. I mean,
also. Partially Cosworth developed?
Yes.
It is Cosworth developed.
It's a Cosworth engine.
Cosworth developed.
No. It is definitely
not the highest revving. We spoke about the D50.
No, it's not.
But the sound that comes.
And I mean, it looks like if you take something from Star Wars and you just slap some wheels on it and put it on the road and say, "There you go," because it's just holes and vents and scoops and everything. But as you said,
basically like sculpted by wind.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's really
the ground effect.
And as with these insane stuff, there's always a bit of trouble that you encounter.
Unfortunately.
Obviously, with Aston Martin, they had their big, almost basically bankrupt situation that they had, and I think they lost like $95 million or something within a few months.
Insane amount, yeah.
Luckily, Lawrence Stroll then invested again, close to $600 million. They invested back in the company.
Yeah, I think 650 something million. Yeah.
Million invested back, and that gave them a big boost. But then they had to decide, because the Valkyrie is like the top of the top.
That's like the upper
Aston,
echelon of what Aston can
what they can do. But now it's between this and the DBX. So what do you do? I mean, because you've got 150 customers for a road-going Valkyrie and 25 for the track-only version, and because they've already invested, the cash has come in for that, but now they've got reliability issues. The chase driving is described as the most difficult car to drive. Just everything isn't working out as they wanted to. So now do you call and say, we're stopping this now, and you tell those 150 people that already put their money down for this, $3.25 million, and you tell them, I think 74 million or something around, I don't know. If you tell them, listen, you can't get your car anymore, or you'll get your car, but it'll be a track-only version. Because then you, once again, the same thing with the AMG One, you limit it to the people that can buy it and actually use it. Because it's not an easy thing to just take somewhere. I mean, obviously, if you have the cash, you'll probably just slap it on a trailer or something and drive it to your nearest track. And in South Africa, there's like three or four tracks maybe that you can use. So
like especially there's not a lot.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
I don't know who of
you most probably won't
South
see
Africans made that list.
Yeah,
but the thing is with the Valkyrie, like it's such a shame that reliability is an issue because you don't want to rebuild that engine.
No.
And I'm trying to get it now, but I think I read an article, and I think it was about the Valkyrie that said that every 50,000 kilometers that it needs an engine rebuild, because it's such a specialized, highly strung, highly powered.
Yeah. The tension that it's put under every time you go around.
It weighs something like 300. I think it's 300 something kilograms. It's lighter than like a 911 turbo, like an older 911 turbo engine, and that's an inline six. And
you've got a
much smaller
6.5 liter V12. I mean, that's huge.
So, well, firstly, kudos to Cosworth.
Yeah,
I don't know how they
doing
can
that.
Produce such a marvel. Not just this one,
but just in general.
The D50
also, Cosworth, they're doing a fantastic job in these few years.
They literally take every single need and want, the brands throw at them every single like piece of detail and description. They're like, okay, let's do it, but let's do it better. Like I remember with the T50, initially they weren't going to have a ISG, a starter generator, or that electrical.
The alternator.
So
and all the little things
whatever they have. And then they were like, okay, Gordon, but maybe try this because you actually save a lot of weight, much more compact, and it also looks better because for Gordon Murray, one very important essential part of that engine was to look good, like. He chose magnesium caps rather than carbon caps because he thought it looked better. So the aesthetic also. But Cosworth, flipping insane.
Hats off to them. But let's hope they don't scrap the whole project. Hopefully the new investment will help them a bit to get it sorted, because there's been speculation that they'll just completely scrap the whole thing, the track version as well. Take everything out and it'll just be a concept in history, and they'll focus on the DBX instead, because they'll sell more of the DBX probably.
I mean, that's the thing, because the DBX, they even built a new plant to manufacture the DBX, and the DBX is like many SUVs for performance brands, as you spoke about a few episodes prior to this. It is about massive cash inflow for brands so that they are able to build these amazing specialized cars, once in how many years type of cars. So it would be a shame if they focus much more on the DBX. Yes, the DBX would make more money, but maybe they're like, okay, let's leave it now, because I know Aston Martin have like the Valhalla, which is like the mini Valkyrie. They have the Vision Vanquish also in the sights, which still looks insane. Like both of those cars looks like very cool prospects for Aston Martin. And Aston Martin, like, unfortunately, they are on the road to recovery. They are not there yet totally. So maybe it's a thing of okay, I know these people pay it, and I know there's this expectation, but maybe let's swallow our pride and focus on what is priority now.
Yeah, what will do better for the company in a few years and anyway. So it's a big call to make.
Yeah. On the other side of the spectrum, you get your electrical hypercars coming. So you'll touch a bit on the Lotus Evija or
Evija. I don't know what you call it. I mean, I've heard so many pronunciations of this car.
I think it's Evija.
Yeah, it's probably Evija. Let's go with Evija. It just sounds better than Evija.
Yeah, Evija. It sounds like a ninja, like Evija.
Well, it could be a ninja because I mean this thing is absolutely insane.
Evija.
4 motors, battery packs, close to 2,000. I think it's maybe more than 2,000 brake horsepower.
It could be more, but it's basically 2,000 at its peak at the moment. Yeah.
And it weighs. I mean, it's hefty for what you would call the hypercars and stuff. It's 1.6.
But still, the Rimac Concept 2 and the other car we're going to touch on now is heavier.
It is heavier. So
Evija is,
and I mean, it's the most powerful Lotus ever produced. They just decided, let's not. Yeah, of course.
There is no Evora that touches that.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can't even get close. Maybe if you slap some Tesla motors or something in Evora, if you insane, you can try and get as close, but there's nothing I think that will be able to compare to this.
Yeah.
It's the as I said, now the most powerful one they produced. Someone described it as, do you decide when you design a hypercar? Do you go hybrid and you say you take a small combustion engine like I wouldn't say, I don't know, maybe the Gemera is a hypercar in a sense, but take that
in terms of the performance.
Performance. Take that small engine and then you add electric motors and stuff like that, and they just decided, no, let's just do everything. I mean, just immediately slap some electric motors on that, get that sorted, and I don't know. It's a bit of a weird thing. It looks absolutely stunning. I mean, it is one of the best designs. When
you said it was a bit of a weird thing, I'm like, it looks amazing.
It's a bit of a... I feel like all these cars touch on the same type of thing where it can be on the road and stuff, but do you take it to a track and how many times a year do you drive it and all that kinds of things? So
but also those cars, like especially the electric hypercars coming out, and also the Evija, like... It has Android Auto, it has Apple CarPlay, it has a good sound
system. All the amenities
system.
that you might need for any standard car.
You can drive it every day. Don't drive it every day because I think you'll definitely lose the wow factor, what makes it special. But the cars are made to be lived with. So...
Yeah, I think that's what Lotus has focused on a lot in the next generation and stuff. They've Evora GT and things like that. And I think when they brought this out, this is like the epitome of what you'll be able to get in terms of performance, but still having that little bit of luxury that they include.
Lotus is improving leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
they are really making waves. They are not just, the thing about Lotus is usually light, sporty, amazing steering, great steering feel, driver's cars, sounds good. And now they're like, okay, we do that, but we also do so much more. We also add luxury, we also add comfort, and our performance is not just like, you've got
a bit of performance and stuff. It's there.
Proper.
I mean, it's in your face, it slaps you, and you say, right, here we go.
So I actually really like the Evija. Evija.
We'll get there, don't worry, just excuse us, guys.
Yeah, so the thing about that car, and I saw it, I was like, this is a Lotus.
Like how it's not what you expect. You think Lotus has these small little cars that you won't fit in if you're over 6 foot or whatever.
Like midlife crisis cars.
Exactly. It's a good way to describe it. But it's once again it's very exclusive. Only 130 models. They go between 1.5 and 2 million pounds, depending on how you spec it. So if you get your aircon and your CarPlay and all that, you just scrap that and just listen to the electric motors.
Yeah, just listen to the engine roar. Oh no,
there's no engine. But it's stunning. As I said, it's a stunning car. But
with the focus, I see electric.
As Jeremy Clarkson would say, it's still a Lotus.
That makes a dent. But I don't know if he said that before the Evija. Okay.
Anyway, what we'll do is we'll stop saying the name and we'll just have it written out here in the front, and then you can read it yourself.
You can read it. We'll just
we'll just hear a beep of our voices.
Like the Lotus.
And then exactly.
The
Lotus, and then
the hypercar.
There we go.
Anyway.
All right, so that's okay. We got that sorted now.
We got that one,
and but it's still, as you said, you still have the amenities of what the can produce.
Yeah.
Because it still does 250 miles on a charge, which is pretty standard for electric cars in these days. Well,
that's like your average EV driving mode. So
BMW i3.
I had a story about the BMW i3. Any electric car in general, that of course range anxiety is a thing. So people are like, okay, when I go,
especially in South Africa, where you drive like 1,600 kilometers to the next major city.
Oh, the next major starting
charging
point.
Charging point.
My lips. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think Martin's been drinking or something.
Drinking water. It is 20 past 11. I have not been drinking today. But yeah, so awesome car. I really like the idea of it. I know you're like, what now? But I do get your point. In some way, electric hypercars coming out now are very much focused on the same thing. They're like insane performance, quickest 0 to 60. Not even that. Mostly focused on quickest 0 to 100. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour. Your mid-range torque is what they're focusing on.
And obviously with electric motors, that's instant. You have that on tap every single time. It's not that you have to.
And the fact that there's no engine,
or whatever. Yeah.
No engine makes that, of course, no sound. Well, okay, that is changing. They are trying to manufacture some sounds, and it does look cool. Sound cool, like the Porsche Taycan.
Yeah.
Have you heard the sound?
They're adding a bit of extra sound,
So because no engine, no sound, that's one characteristic taken away where they can differentiate from brands. So. Yeah.
And it's a big step for Lotus to do this and stuff, and I think they'll do very good with it. I mean, they're expanding constantly, and just it's going great for them.
Excited for Lotus.
And the Evija name, I said it, I'm sorry.
It is Evija.
The Evija.
You said it right, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. Then it's fine. The name means the living one, or the first in existence. So it's actually
something new for Lotus.
Something new. And it works quite well, I have to say. It's a great name. Yeah, it's a very nice name for a absolutely stunning car.
Then there are also two cars that compete with the Evija. That compete with the Evija is the Rimac Concept 2 and the Pininfarina Battista. So Rimac Concept 2,
the Richard Hammond car.
Yeah, the Concept 1 is the
the Richard Hammond car's brother. Sorry.
Yeah, so the new one.
Yes.
Is it slow? No, it's Czech. I think it's Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I think that's where Rimac.
I
think so.
We hope so.
Anyway, it's close. It's somewhere in the Scandinavian countries. So Mate Rimac, who is the owner and founder of Rimac, his philosophy about electric cars is not about, save the trees, save the world. It's actually about, okay, I want to make the quickest car, the most efficient in terms of performance, and I believe I can do that with electric motors. He started off his career drag racing and racing, and he had I think it was an E30 M3 or like an E33 series.
BMW fanboy.
Yeah.
There we go.
But he actually took out the engine and made an electric one.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And listen, smashed the
I was about to say, it probably completely destroyed the competition.
So for him, it's about, he believes with electric, you can do the best. You can.
He's like the pioneer in the electric future of supercars and hypercars.
Elon Musk in some way also, but this guy is young and he's very much focused on.
I think Elon Musk does more space flight travel than he does development of cars anymore.
Not just cars, he does a lot.
He does a lot of stuff.
So Mate Rimac inspires me in many ways. That guy is such a pioneer and influencer in what he does, and extremely clever, and just the ideas he has and how it comes to life later on. The thing with Rimac, they focus on that. They have the Concept 1 and Concept 2 cars, but they really focus on providing technologies, batteries for other car manufacturers. So
they want to enable other people as well to be able to join that club of.
If I'm right, they provide technology to Aston Martin. I think I read somewhere about Porsche. Not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so it's all about supplying technologies, making technologies, showcasing it in the cars and being like, you can buy it. It's yours. And
do with it what you want. And
how they make the money. So the Concept 2, insane. It has about 1,900 and something horsepower. I think 2,300 Newton meters of torque. Crazy amounts.
That's neck-breaking speed.
Single speed gearbox because electric.
Yeah.
They haven't released I know they did prototype drives a few years back, but they haven't released the full car yet, or the production-ready car. But what it promises to deliver, it probably will. It probably will. Mate Rimac, as I said, that guy delivers on his promises and more, much like Christian von Koenigsegg. So I'm very excited to see this car come to life. This is very much hypercar, electric, like pure EV, like focused.
Yeah, this is proper like...
But then you get the Italian cousin, the Pininfarina Battista. So Pininfarina...
This thing.
They have designed cars beforehand.
Yeah. I've actually never heard of the company till this.
Oh, yeah. You haven't heard of the company. Yeah. So Pininfarina are the main designers of Ferraris over the years. I think the last Ferrari they designed was the F12. I'm going to lie if I tell you. But basically the 812 Superfast was the first Ferrari that Ferrari had to design themselves. Not by Pininfarina. For some time. So Pininfarina designed Ferraris, they designed Alphas.
And you know how beautiful Ferraris and Alphas is. You can imagine how stunning those cars is.
Yeah. So, of course, you are seeing pictures of the Pininfarina, but insanely good-looking car. They describe it as the first pure EV luxurious or luxury hyper GT. So, yes, hypercar, yes, performance-focused, very quick. It'll do all those numbers that breaks your brain, like something, I think it's 0 to 200 or 0 to 180 or something in sub 6 seconds, which is insane.
That is, yes.
But again, I might getting my facts wrong. No. I don't care about the facts at the moment now because all of them are insane performance.
Yeah, it's the point being, it's
but
just
this thing is more
car.
Focused on luxury, bespoke, exclusivity. I know that every single part, material, everything you can touch is bespoke. Like you can design it the way you want to. In terms of materials, colors, whatever you want to use. Sort of simplistic design in the inside, very much driver focused, has these 3 little screens. But it looks awesome. It really does look awesome. The wing, especially at the back, the rear side, sort of like the Evija. It is very simplistic in the lines and design it has. So appealing, easy on the eyes. I must say, I really like this car, but the fact that it is a Rimac Concept 2 also makes it confusing. Like it does remind me of the fact that, basically all the companies in the Volkswagen group share the same platform for majority of their cars. So, yeah, I'm excited to see this come out. They said it would release in 2020. Probably not.
Yeah,
because of current state of
everything in the world.
Yeah, diseases and such. But that is probably, that is the current state of hypercars at the moment. One we maybe like to mention is Tesla Roadster.
Yeah, that is...
Can you call it a hypercar though? Because it is, I think it's definitely the best that Tesla is going to do in terms of performance in any of their cars. But also, it's not, like the price tag is not somewhere near $1 million.
Yeah, no, it's not, I don't know. Because it is obviously like the Evija and all that. It's full electric and it's 2-seater and it's ridiculously fast. Yeah. It's got the performance and everything. It's got the range as well. But like you said, the price tags and stuff, maybe with luxury and I don't know. It's a very difficult thing to...
It seems like a very... Okay, plain might be a wrong word to use. But the Tesla Roadster will be good at everything it does. It will accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 2 seconds. Insane speeds. It's probably going to be able to corner too. But it's just going to be a very fast electric.
And it's 2.1 seconds or something from 0 to 100.
Yeah, so it's insane in terms of performance, but I don't think it has hypercar qualities.
Yeah.
Then again, who am I to decide what a hypercar is? There is no set definition for what a hypercar entails. Basically just the pinnacle
performance. Yeah, it needs to be the best. Yeah, the best of your brand. So I suppose for Tesla it would be their hypercar, but you compare it to others.
Yeah, comparing it to others, it's like
really
these cars I just mentioned basically does that and more. I don't think Tesla is necessarily focused on building a hypercar like with the Roadster. They're like, it's going to be great in everything it does. It's going to be the quickest
of what we can do for that.
About.
And
so
although they focus a lot on the Roadsters and the things that they want to try and achieve, they also focus a lot on their competition. And that's the next thing we want to touch on is the fantastic battle of the electric car companies, Rivian versus Tesla.
Yeah.
Where in July, Tesla opened up a court case against Rivian saying that they take the ex-employees from Tesla and get confidential information from them and employ them at Rivian, and that's why they grow so much as a company. And Rivian has done amazingly. I mean, they have not sold a single unit, but they've got...
They have some pre-orders.
They've got a bunch of pre-orders. Yeah, it's quite hectic. And for a company that actually hasn't sold anything, but that have had these many orders, they're doing fantastically. And also coming so late into the market, the electric car market, with their SUV and their Bakkie in the South African sense, their truck.
Pickup.
Yeah, the pickup. So it was where they said that basically that they taking Tesla employees and forcing them to get information from the Tesla factory, and they signed an agreement. Trade secrets basically, and they signed an agreement at Tesla that says they're not allowed to do that and everything. But up to date, Rivian has taken 187 employees from Tesla, where they'd be like directly.
I thought it was like 4.
No, it's a lot of people coming from Tesla to Rivian.
Oh my word! Okay, so that is new.
That's a big thing. So it was just basically the big thing of Tesla claiming that they stole employees, but Rivian said it's based on nothing because they signed the non-disclosure agreement with Tesla to say we're not sharing information, and now Tesla, I think they're a bit afraid, maybe, of Rivian because they're doing so good in such a short time. Maybe it can, because I mean 187 employees is a lot. It's a lot of people to come in from one company, and 80 of them went directly from Tesla to Rivian. It's not like they did some details. The rest went like through a few things or some other companies and stuff, and then went to Rivian. So it's a big thing to do. So that was in July, but now in August, Rivian went back and they said they destroyed the reputation of the company because it was at a big time of them releasing their cars, and now Tesla came and accused them of something that was, in Rivian's words, was false and not based on anything. It was just speculation.
I think there were 3 claims.
Yeah.
And then the 2 of the 3, they said, Rivian basically said, no, 2 of these 3 claims are insufficient in terms of
evidence or anything, just to back it up. It's all on speculation and all that. So it was a big thing.
It's Tesla being threatened.
I think they are being threatened. I mean, you can't. I mean, if it's a tactic that they're using, and obviously we won't know, but if it's a tactic that they're using to try and to get under the skin of Rivian, I think they're getting it right and trying what they do. But I think it's a bit of a bad sportsmanship. So also in a sense of
in terms of competition, definitely the Rivian and the Tesla are going head to head at the moment.
Yeah, no, so that's like the biggest.
What's happening is the Cybertruck from Tesla and then the Rivian R1T. So these are 2 different cars in terms of looks, but still electric trucks. So what you're trying to achieve is basically the same thing, but they are targeting different market segments.
Yes.
In terms of technologies, there are minor differences. Except that Rivian, I know their cooling of their batteries and such, the technology therefore is a bit different.
Okay.
So in fact, not just different, maybe better, maybe more efficient. So the way they cool the batteries, they use water and glycol.
Okay.
I think you say it that way. But the way that cooling works and where it is placed in between the cells and such, Rivian is doing a little bit of a better job. But the Cybertruck is like, it's sharp, edgy, wild design. They basically said, listen, we are eliminating any dents, any damage. You are not getting any of it. You can drive over your house. You'll be fine. You won't have a scratch. So they are trying to build this very hardcore, futuristic, like I'm going to drive over Mars type of thing. And the Rivian is basically
maybe if Elon goes to Mars, he'll drive around with the Cybertrucks up there. I don't know.
Listen,
I won't be surprised.
I see that happening.
But Rivian is like it's
so exciting actually.
It's very exciting.
It looks good. That truck.
It's stunning. I mean, both and the SUV as well. It is absolutely gorgeous cars.
So
I think
what is interesting about that truck, I was trying to compare it to an Amarok, like a Volkswagen Amarok. Like it's a very luxurious electric Amarok. Interesting. Both of them have a skateboard design. Well, what do you call it? They call it like a skateboard chassis or platform.
Ladder frame? No, it's not.
No,
it's not ladder frame.
So basically, it is shaped like a skateboard, so batteries are here, and then it basically goes over the wheels.
Yeah, okay.
And then that's the base of both
what you
of these
build,
cars.
yeah.
And then from there on, they build.
They
And
build
then
it
the
up.
electric batteries and
Components
such,
and everything gets
they
added
are in
to it.
between. But I watched the video about the Rivian R1T, and the amount of space that car offers is insane. Like, if you go, let's say I'm sitting at the rear seats and I climb outside, like here, there's this open tunnel.
Yeah, that goes straight through the whole car.
Then you have the back, then you have inside the car a lot of space, and that's all because it's a truck, it's meant to be a bit lifted, and because there's electric batteries, like that fact that it's a truck and lifted, it covers a bit of that.
So you've got a lot more space up top. It's not a big engine and 4x4s and all those types of things, because you've got motors, batteries, and the amenities inside, like the aircon and things like that for the wiring. So you have a lot of space, and they utilized it very, very well in the car.
What would you choose between the two?
A Rivian, definitely.
The Rivian?
Yeah. It just looks better for me.
I thought you go like Cybertruck.
No, the Cybertruck. I don't like the looks of the Cybertruck. It was too bold for the time.
Yeah, maybe it's just not fitting now. In
in a few years it'll probably make more sense, but for now,
I don't even know what will happen about it. Like within a few years,
it's like the car that you get from a book that was written in the 90s about what the world would look like in 20 years' time.
That's true.
It's like that kind of thing.
True.
So, I mean, probably the book wasn't wrong. It's just that there's one car company that makes a car like that.
But hey, good, well done Elon to being so bold.
For such a bold claim,
And to be honest, it doesn't, like for him, it's like, okay, why not? He's not losing anything.
Exactly.
It's not like, a company like Volvo going out and saying, we're doing this very bold design.
Yeah.
Because, I wouldn't say they have limited customers. It's just that Tesla is in the favorable position of their customers are often very committed to them. They trust that Tesla are doing the right thing. They trust that the vehicles are good quality. True or not, not for me to decide. Yeah. But I mean,
and I think
there is speculation.
It's like the pinnacle of, because Tesla had a lot of things that they released, the Roadster, as we spoke, and then the semi-truck. Have you seen those things accelerate with a trailer on? I mean, have you ever seen a truck do a burnout with a full trailer at the back?
Didn't they make a video of the Cybertruck with a trailer pulling a Cybertruck?
I think so.
Or was it another car?
It's probably, I don't know, they did that with the Model X, where they put, they took the Model X and then they put a trailer with an Alfa Romeo 4C at the back, and then they raced it against a 4C.
A 4C, yeah.
And the Tesla still won.
I remember it racing, and then suddenly they just showed the trailer. I was like, oh my word.
I know, it's insane. So, there's a big thing for... it'll probably have a hitch to use, but one of those American where the hitch is like in the middle of the bed at the back.
And so what doesn't make sense to me is like off-roading and electric cars. It just doesn't click.
It's so weird, yeah. It's like, a very weird thing to...
Okay, I would go off-roading with my Cybertruck because just
obviously
of the way it looks. But like with the Rivian, it's like going... Like few people go off-roading with the Amarok or the luxury truck.
Even like with Land Rovers and Range Rovers, like newer models, very few people do it because they spec the cars in 21 or 22 inch low profile. Do the school drives.
Go shopping. Go play golf.
And I can probably understand it, because I mean, if you scratch the paint on something on a Range Rover or whatnot, it's close to 40,000 Rand for the respray on that. So it makes sense, I suppose. But then what's the point of buying 4x4? So
I mean, Land Rovers and Range Rovers specifically are insane in terms of their
capability. They are ridiculous, but then the repair cost of knocking a rock on your bottom, and anyway. But that was enough electric power for one day.
We have our favorite segment coming up now, the Peter Cruiser segment.
Yes.
And of course, Luke and I will share one car each that we chat about. A car that may be interesting, quirky, unknown of, very known. We just want to hear what we think about it, and also what you think about it. So on social media, the day after the podcast released, usually we go on our stories. You'll see the cars there, also for you to rate. We want to hear your perspective on it too. So I told Luke that the car I'm speaking about today is a four-door sedan or saloon made in Britain, and I said that he has,
I went for Bentley Flying Spur, and then
he has
the
infinite
Rolls
amount of guesses. because he won't get this right. But Luke, do you have any idea, any last guesses of what it may be?
I think I ran through everything that I could think of, but when you say it now, I'll probably hate myself for not knowing it.
No, you won't. Do you have any idea what the Lagonda Giraffe is?
Lagonda Giraffe.
The Lagonda Giraffe.
I have no idea, but I'm going to look it up now.
Okay, so Aston Martin and Lagonda have been linked or associated for many, many years. I think 1940s or 1960s since then. So they've been linked for many, many years. Lagonda is like the very fancy, luxurious... Luke is like very confused.
This is an interesting specimen.
I know. So it's like, the very luxurious, bespoke, exclusive version of an Aston. But not even version, I'd say just like the far-off family member, because only now and then they bring out cars. I don't think they are profitable. But anyway, the Lagonda Giraffe is the longer, more sophisticated version of the Rapide.
Mm-hmm.
So still the same engine, the 6-liter V12, naturally twin turbo. I think it's twin turbo. Yeah. Ooh, no. I don't even know. I have to check. But I know it has less than 600 horsepower, which is
the
fine.
front grille kind of makes me think of the DBX in a sense.
Yeah, in some way it is inspiration, but this car is a bit old. Like it's 2015, 2016.
A little bit older.
And it looks cool, but if you go inside, 5.9 liter V12. I think no, that's naturally aspirated. But 630 Newton meter horsepower, 402 kilowatt. So looks interesting. Nobody will buy it because why would you buy it if you're gonna have a flying spur or
something like that? Yeah, I mean
it is shorter than the Maybach S-Class, like long wheelbase. It's shorter than a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Still a massive car.
Just looks weird. I don't know. I don't like the looks of it. I'm sorry.
It looks elegant for 2015.
It looks. I like the grille. I think it was a bold thing that they did that didn't work out so well.
But it's just like, there's speculation that they might go about increasing on the current range of the Lagondas.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
why? You're competing with so much more.
Why?
Why do you want to step into the market now with that in any way? I don't know.
I'm ready to rate.
Yeah, I'm ready to rate. Dead average.
Oh, okay. I thought you say PT Cruiser.
No, I won't say PT Cruiser. You can't say PT
with that
Cruiser.
Engine.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
But
it's still a luxury car. I mean, it's not like it's a piece of nonsense or whatever.
It's obnoxiously expensive. Like,
is it
close to $1 million? No, I'm lying. Like, between £600,000 and £700,000, which is a lot of rands.
That's ridiculous.
It's like 14, 20 million. So, I don't know.
What's the point?
Yeah, it might be closer to PT Cruiser.
Yeah, we're hovering in between. Yeah, I mean, it's got the wheels of the PT Cruiser, but the roof of the Lagonda. Like that kind of thing.
I don't know your car.
You don't know my car?
Do you have any guesses, like hints for me?
American.
Okay, I'm thinking Mustang.
Four-door.
Oh, okay. Dodge Charger. No, not the Hellcat. Okay, is it like luxury? Is
I think the president drives the same brand of car.
Buick.
No.
The president. Cadillac.
Yeah.
CTSV.
There we go.
Is it CTSV?
CTSV.
Oh, okay.
Cadillac CTSV. The car, probably the single American car that I've loved the most ever since the first time I saw it.
Is this a 3 Series or the 5 Series competitor? Because I think isn't the 80...
5 Series. I think it's more the 5 Series competitor for...
Yeah, the CTS is the longer one.
Yeah, it's the longer one, the CTSV. It's the, 6.2 litre supercharged V8, 630 brake horsepower. It's like the American M5 competition, basically, I would say. Big competition for that. It's an insane car. It's 8-speed automatic.
Is it...
Brembo brakes.
I think it has a manual.
You get the manual now. They didn't have it, but you get a manual now in it as well. And I mean, it's a monster. It's an absolute beast. It looks vicious. It's big. It's 5-seater. So a family car,
It's just
very
like
casual family car. And the
shops.
sound of this thing is just...
Yeah.
I could sit all day and
it's
just...
like a C63 with the 6.2 litre V8, but the supercharger with.
And it's the sharp lines of a... I don't know what to describe it with. Let's say if you take the sharp lines of a Cybertruck and you slap it confused with a Cadillac and I don't know.
Fair.
You competed with an M5, then this is what you get.
You're just trying to do everything, but it does look mean.
It looks mean. It looks vicious. It looks good.
Yeah.
So.
I do quite like the idea of that car. I don't think it is as sophisticated.
No, not at all. I mean, it's very
the M5 at all.
No, definitely it doesn't compete in the class of that stuff. But I think it's still a great car. I wouldn't mind having one.
Yeah,
I love it.
Me too.
Big engine,
I know
obviously.
They compared it a lot.
As a daily, you'd need a trailer with a fuel tank that pulls behind you, because it's not cheap.
Two straws.
It's not cheap, but I think we're also ready. Good. Are you? No, it's fine. You can. Like, so I'm up for it's cool, and you're for.
I'm like more towards that. I'm not a big fan of American cars. The engine is like insane and
obviously, how bigger the engine for Americans, the better. But
I'm just a bit more focused on being sophisticated. Not that the M5 or the EC2
necessarily, but just.
I'd say it's sophisticated.
It's more sophisticated than the Cadillac.
It also like
vicious,
is mean. Yeah. So I do like the CTSV, cool concept. I don't know how much they improved on previous version of this car. Like what American companies usually do is they just
put a bigger
stick with the engine.
Or they put a bigger engine
and
in
just
it.
More displacement.
Yeah, I think they changed the gearbox is improved a lot. The handling of the car as well, because I mean most American cars, if you take it around a corner, it just goes.
Yeah.
And you spin, and that's it.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely a drifting machine.
Oh, yeah, no.
The thing is, you aren't going to break lap records in those cars.
No,
so
it's not. It's for the fun of driving it. And now with the manual as well coming out, I mean...
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I'm up for cool, and you're for dead average.
I'm like closer to cool, like 75%.
75%. You're like, you filled up your fuel tank, but not all the way.
Yeah. Like, I'm almost, but then it's American. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry. Like, Americans do make good cars sometimes.
Most, every now and again.
4GT.
Just don't ask them to arrange a Formula 1 race. That's all.
Yes. No, please.
But that's a topic for another day.
That is a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did enjoy this episode. I think we had quite some good chat. We are excited for our next episode. We may or may not be doing it with a guest, also in another venue.
Yeah, we might change again. I mean, we've been moving venues. We've been to 4 places. So
that is why we're doing what we're doing.
Keeps life interesting.
Yeah. So stay tuned. It's like this is not a TV show. I shouldn't stay tuned. I should just say join us next time.
Yeah, there we go.
We are excited for you to listen to us
for
again.
The next episode.
Please, if we say there's a lot of things we say in this episode that may be mistaken or not so accurate as we would like it to be, correct us. We learn.
Tell us you guys are retarded and just go look up.
If you really don't like us, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're
your own person.
You are your own person.
It'll suck, but it's fine. That's life.
You can't share it with other people because you didn't like it, but that's also fine. There are other things you like.
Exactly.
But that is a good day from us.
Yeah.
We would like to thank you for joining. That was very
thanks
fun
again so much.
And also, stay engaged on our social media pages. We will see you hopefully in future.
Yeah.
Our audience, Luke's Beard Oil is.
We'll see how we get on that and see if we're drinking wine in the next episode or not.
Yeah, we may be celebrating. But anyway.
Maybe.
Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.